Well guys, the WWE's Hell in a Cell 2020 pay-per-view event is now over and done with, and without question there were quite a few exciting developments that occurred tonight at Hell in a Cell, including the phenomenal match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns for the Universal title that kick-started the pay-per-view event, with Reigns retaining his title and being crowned the head of the table by the Wild Samoans, and then Sasha Banks finally getting a revenge on her former best friend Bayley and winning the SmackDown Women's Championship, not to mention The Miz shockingly winning Otis's Money in the Bank briefcase as well, and last but certainly not least, Randy Orton winning the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre to close out Hell in a Cell 2020 in a big and monumental way. While Drew McIntyre has seemingly had a fairly solid reign as WWE Champion and proved to fans that he is more than capable of handling the main event spotlight, there's no doubt that most wrestling fans were rooting for Randy Orton to win the WWE title from Drew McIntyre tonight, after multiple failed attempts at previous pay-per-view events, and Vince McMahon decided to give fans what they wanted tonight, and Randy Orton is now the reigning WWE Champion on Monday Night Raw. Many fans are now wondering exactly why the WWE decided to have Drew McIntyre's WWE title reign end tonight at Hell in a Cell 2020, and why Randy Orton won the WWE title, and we have the answers you're looking for. According to one of our sources, one reason for Randy Orton winning the WWE title tonight at Hell in a Cell from Drew McIntyre stems from the fact that Edge, who had been sidelined with a triceps injury since Backlash 2020, is reportedly getting very close to being cleared by WWE doctors to make his big return to the company, and Vince wants to start building the big feud between Orton and Edge heading into next year's WrestleMania 37 event as soon as possible, in which Randy would lose the WWE title to Edge at the Showcase of the Immortals next year. However, that is more of a long-term reason for Randy Orton getting his hands on the WWE Championship tonight, but in the short term, one source mentioned that Vince has been unhappy with the ratings and viewership for Monday Night Raw over the past several months, with Drew McIntyre at the top of the brand, and feels as though Randy Orton as the WWE Champion will bring some fans back who had stopped watching Raw in the recent past. Now, that is not to say that Vince blames the sinking ratings that Raw has been suffering from lately completely on Drew McIntyre, but one backstage rumor indicates that Vince does not think that Drew is main event material at this point, and feels the continuously worsening or dwindling Raw ratings is mostly a result of Drew being the WWE Champion, and not being interesting enough for fans to tune in. As well, Vince also feels that now that The Miz is the current Money in the Bank briefcase holder, WWE can go down memory lane to try and increase the viewership, with The Miz attempting to set his sights on Randy Orton's WWE Championship, a familiar scenario for Randy Orton stemming back to 2010, where Miz successfully cashed in the briefcase on Randy Orton, and Vince feels this nostalgic dynamic between The Miz and Randy Orton will increase Raw's ratings in the coming months before Edge returns. With all this being said, let us know your thoughts on Randy Orton winning the WWE title tonight at Hell in a Cell. And overall, what are your thoughts and opinions on the pay-per-view tonight as a whole? Make sure you sound off in the comments section down below, and do give us your thoughts and opinions on the matter.